like it? And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good. Wow. Good morning, Nevermornings. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF and Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you by a generous grant from our good friends over at indiecd.org. Yes, indiecd.org, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, musicians, and creatives. Yeah, my voice is a little conky today, so we're gonna get through it, but it's one of those days, folks. If you want to have a place where you can be supported, please consider joining ndcd.org for the low price of $40. It's a one-time payment, and that will get you a whole community of support. A wonderful place to where you'll have access to an upcoming event calendar. You can post your events. You can find out what's going on far ahead of time, enough that you can actually find out about conventions and things before they are occurring, so that as a vendor you can attend. If you're looking for people to help you make your dreams come true, please consider supporting these guys. My link will get you there. It costs you nothing extra, but helps support the show. All right, we're also made possible by the sales of my books, including but certainly not limited to what has proven to be one of my best sellers of all time, Haints and Hellfire. A horror story set on the hills of Appalachia in a small town where two rival reporters are trying to cover the story of the century, not realizing that the story of the century might just end both their lives. And caught in the middle of it is a small boy whose only hope is a plucky reporter, a cameraman, his beloved auntie, and a cat who just might be a little bigger than he seems. Read this book. It's good. We're also made possible by the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear. All part of my ongoing series of books teaching you how to sword fight and use other martial weapons. Expect some new additions to that series starting up after I finish the second Haints and Hellfire. We also have the Big Stompy Robots book and the games and all that coming together. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. As well as several other titles that I don't want to spend my whole intro doing. So I rotate them around to let you know what's good and what's not, and what's active. But we're going to get right into my accountability. First and foremost, on Haints and Hellfire 2, I am at that lovely 18,336 words. It's that part towards the middle where it can feel like it's a little bit in the weeds. Anybody who's writing, especially Pantser, knows there's a part where you go and you can feel it just sort of wobble a little bit. And you have to look through it and figure, are we working here, or am I going to have to backtrack? And if I do have to backtrack and my word count is lower next time than it was this time, I went through, didn't like something, and I pulled it out. And that's still progress. Don't ever feel bad about pre-editing your work because as you're trucking along, something doesn't quite feel right. Speaking of Haints and Hellfire and other things, I do want to remind everyone, and I know I showed it at the very beginning, but I want to remind you that the Independent Creator Convention is happening in Fowler, Indiana. It's free to the public. There'll be authors, artists, and a whole lot more at the Benton County Annex Building, also known as the Purdue Extension, 410 South Aidway, Fowler, Indiana. I will be there from 10 till 10, open to the public. Many of the other folks won't. And I realize I have to remember next time that my size is a little off on my things, but I want you guys to see that. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to see some of the people that maybe you only know through chat, including Joe Bachman, Trelena Bachman, my lovely wife, Carl Witzman, Donna, Brian K. Morris, chance to meet Luke Stone. I'll be meeting Luke Stone in person for the first time after everything's come and gone. It'll be an interesting time. I'm really looking forward to it. Outside of that, let's get into today's discussion. So let me just pull this down and bring this back. All right. I got some really great DMs yesterday. Actually, not yesterday. Shoot, yesterday was Sunday, so I must have got them Friday night. Yes, I got them all doing my streams, which makes sense because everybody loves to message me while I am doing my Historical Fencing Guild stream. It's just one of those things. I think it's because a lot of people who have secondary gigs switch over to secondary gig mode on like Friday night. During the week, they're thinking about their day-to-day 9-to-5 job. And then as soon as it hits Friday night, a lot of us kind of shift gears into okay, now I'm worried about what I'm doing as either my side hustle or my dream pursuit gig or whatever. And I got a series of questions from somebody who actually got a series from a couple. So let's just go through it. One of the things they said to me was, I don't sell anything at conventions or shows. I've gone to a few. I never sell anything. So the first thing I said to them is the first thing I say often: can you send me a picture of your setup? And the setup was this: a table. And on said table were their books. And they are sitting there at the table with their books laid flat on the table. And they don't know why people aren't coming to them. Now, I've had a great many jobs. And one of them I had for quite a while was I was a merchandiser for Home Depot. It's a period I don't necessarily talk a lot about, but during that time, I got some really neat, very useful training. And to the point where I can't look at a booth without seeing it as a bay. I think in terms of planogram, our booth is still nebulous, but at some point we will have essentially a homemade planogram for it. And I'm using terms real jargon. So to make it clear, this is not exciting stuff, but this is stuff that'll make you money. Your booth is what they see. That's just like one of the big chunks of shelves at Home Depot. Okay. What do you notice first when you look at a big chunk of shelves? You notice what has verticality. Okay. That's center of the view frame. That's things that are upright. You want things to stand out enough to get people's attention, but not so much that it's uncomfortable to look at. You want something saying who and what you are, even if it's just a small sign, even if it's just a label. I understand everybody's growing, but anything you can get, please consider supporting either a small print shop, or if you have to, going to a place like Staples and getting a banner made if you can. But you need to get it up where the customer can see it. When you're marketing a book, people do judge it by the cover. Now, I see that, and this is something that people don't like. There are some people will say, I don't like to put the prices on because I like to negotiate that and whatever. No. Everything should be priced. You can negotiate, but you want to set the start point, and you want to set the general feel of what you're going into. Okay? If possible, you want branded consistency. Your stuff, theoretically, should look like your stuff, which is why I will be changing some of my covers over, because all my big stompy robot stuff, which I don't have the books to show you, but my novels have covers that are in the same art style as the cover of Big Stompy Robots. It's the same art style as the interior of Big Stompy Robots. That's the same art style as the demo terrain that I use for Big Stompy Robots. I have, for the purpose of that series, deliberately gone black and white because it stands out in a field of color. If everyone is chasing bright color, my books are in black and white, and my booth is styled with a black and white background, it pops through inversion. It stands out because it doesn't quite look like everybody else's. Now, you have to understand the other thing. When people come to conventions, you will always have people who want to approach it like it's a flea market. They want to get yard sale grade prices. And you should be comfortable saying no, because you do not want to take a loss to make a sale. That does you no good. Now, you should have some reasonable markup that you can wiggle around in. And there are times where, and this takes time to figure out, but where giving somebody a book now will get you sales later. But you have to really know your audience and really be able to read people. That's not, for the new and getting up there. But you need to process. You need to have your price points obvious. They need to be labeled. They need to be presented in a format that people can see. Don't put all your stock up there. Always put a limited number visible if you can, because that gives folks what's lovingly called FOMO, fear of missing out. If it's not the last one, put 3 of them out, enough to show people that they can get it. But you don't want them thinking, well, I'll come back, because most times they won't. The other thing is, if you can diversify what you are offering, but keep it related, at least tangentially, you can make small sales you might not make otherwise, especially if you have the skills or connections to do something adjacent. So having merch for your books, having things, especially if you're going to a convention that some of your stuff is related to, some of it isn't. Having something for everybody at a sliding scale of price points. A lot of people say, give it away. Now, giving away swag is okay. There's nothing wrong with it, especially if you can't be there. But one of the best things is if you can charge a small amount, then people value it more. If you just give something to somebody, they won't necessarily value it. If they have to pay even a penny, it has become a transaction that has monetary value to them. So, You look at how much it costs you to do say pins. Now I'm just pulling this number completely out of my derriere, but let's say your stickers cost you, 5-10 cents a sticker, or less, but whatever. Make them 25 cents. Then if you feel like, hey, you know what, I'm supposed to charge you, but I can give you this one for free. Then people will say, oh, you did something nice for me. They will remember that. Being nice, being kind is one of the best things you can do. You want to be attentive without being pushy, because I have walked through shows where it looks like carnival barkers. Come buy my books, buy my books, buy my books. And, people can get really aggressive. That's that type of sales technique may net you a few, but in the long term, it's going to make people think of you as a jerk. And your co-vendors, the other vendors in your company, will not like it. So to answer the question about that, merchandise well. Don't be afraid to look online for videos on how to merchandise your booth. Make things look as professional as you can, with the understanding that it is, until you reach a certain level, it is always evolving. You're going to try new things. You're going to feel things out. And what works at this event may not work at this event. So I do book shows, I do art shows, and I do gaming conventions. Okay. My games may or may not sell terribly well at the book shows. Okay. My books usually sell fairly well. My games at game shows usually do well. I spend a lot of time gaming. At any of them, my on-site art stuff may sell because I'm providing a limited service. This keeps the site going, keeps things going. And when I say site, you can think of it kind of like what you would think of a website. If you're looking at a website sales, what do you need to see? You need to see the prices, you need to see the product, you need to be able to answer your questions. But you don't like pop-ups, right? Nobody likes pop-ups. Somebody likes, oh, come on. I'm going to tell you something. If somebody runs a no-skip ad on Amazon or whatever, on YouTube or whatever, that makes me think less of the company, whatever they're selling, because I associate that with being annoyed. You don't want to be in that position. So you're there to answer questions. You're open. You're attentive. If you're an artist, you're doing your drawing, that's fine, but you still need to be able to pay attention and respond. We all develop that skill in high school, okay? Anybody who's an artist develop the skill of drawing while paying enough attention to be able to respond to a comment, because all of us were doodling in class and got in trouble with that. Use that skill that you learned as a mischievous child to help your sales if you're an artist and you're doing on-site demos or something. Does that mean your attention gets a little fragmented sometimes? Yeah. Does it take more energy out of you? Absolutely. When you're at a convention, you are there for a couple purposes. And that's the other thing you need to learn. If you are at a convention, you are there to plant the seed first and foremost. If you can make somebody interested in what you do long after, and they can easily find a route to what you do. So, you like my books, you can check me out on Amazon. Here, and here. Even if they don't have the money, if you have a good pitch, you can expect a 5 to 10% turnover rate. So, it's going to carry over to the next part. I'm sorry I'm giving you guys information this time. I'm not doing your Monday motivation because I want you guys to hear this stuff first, and then I can wrap you up. That is what's going to get you sales in the long run, and it's going to funnel your people to more of your products. But you You go to conventions, like I said, for three things. You've planted the seed best you can. And remember, you're also selling to your fellow vendors, but you're selling to your fellow vendors without the spiels. You don't need everybody who's around you is a vendor. Everybody who's around you probably has similar interests. At least, if it's a book show, everybody's a writer or a reader. Writers are the best readers, and vice versa. So you be open to sales, be open to trades, be open to barters. That not only gets you goods for goods, or gives you opportunities, because we've had cases where people have bought out a whole bunch of stuff that Mandy's made to sell at another show that we're not going to. Okay, cool. If you can find deals like that, that's going to do two important things. That's going to make you better known in the community you're in, because you need community. If you're new to this channel, this is a good community to be in. You need community to bring it up. The other thing is you are there to convene. It's a convention. The vendors around you are people who are in a similar field. And while I personally do not feel that we are in competition, because the vast majority of us are different enough that I don't feel there's a need to throw elbows and try to squeeze the other guy out aggressively. That is big corporation silliness. I don't have time for big corporation silliness. I don't think that way. If I make a sale this time, but I know, hey, you're interested in something like this? If I don't have something that interests somebody, I will defer them to a booth that does. So, really easy one I could say is, I do this artwork. Oh, that's cool. I wish I could get it framed or something. Well, I might not be doing that right now, but you could commission my buddy Joe to wood burn it for you. And, that's never happened. I've never said, just, you like this line art? Tell you what, talk to my good buddy Joe. Tell him what you want. You guys can work out a price, and I can get a copy of this to him that he can, do custom work for you. Here's my card. And if I have Joe's card, I'll give him Joe's card. If, I'm not doing comics right now, I could defer them to Brian K. Morris's stuff. I could defer them to Luke's stuff. I could defer them to Grant Lankard's stuff. What does that do? Does it cost me any money? No, because the customer said, I like your stuff, but it's not quite what I'm interested in. Okay, so there isn't going to be a financial trade right now. There isn't going to be a transaction right now, but there can be a connection made and a chance to help somebody else in the community, which will strengthen that connection. And then hopefully, if somebody comes to their table and, says something that implies them to say, hey, you might want to go over there, and they bounce it back. This is a part of why doing good comes back to you good. You shouldn't do good for the payback. That's not what it should be about. But you do need to express that and understand that equivalent exchange does exist, and it should. And if you're ever in a situation where you're doing a lot of good and the equivalent exchange doesn't exist, are you doing good where you are? So making those connections and talking to other vendors, because one thing anybody I've found who's been doing it a long time loves to talk about is how their booth is set up. Or, if you go by, you see something neat, you can say, hey, where did you get the wire rack that's holding up your books? Or where did you get, this rolling corkboard thing? Whatever you've seen. I've yet to see a booth where they won't go, oh, you like that? Yeah, I got that here. It was a good price, or I made that. And I saw somebody with this beautiful display wall and it was pegboard, and they had made the thing from scratch. And I said, would you mind if I take some pictures of it? Because honestly, I'd love to make my own. Sure. Did I buy something small from them? Of course I bought something small from them. That's, just what I call a courtesy purchase. I found something I'd like enough to, do that. It cemented that connection. We come to these things to network and plant the seed. So what optimally you should see, and I hope you're doing online sales because we're going to go to that next real quick, is if you're doing a convention, optimally there should be a spike in your online sales starting anywhere from day of to about 48 hours after. It usually starts to taper off after a week, but you should get that little spike in your sales. The other thing I got was from another person, Nick. I'm not making any money. Now, I cannot tell you how to make big money because I'm still learning how to make big money. I'm still getting my name out there. I'm still getting my products out there. I'm doing a lot of tweaking to get things, but I do make small money. And if you're making no money, I can talk to you and maybe help you make small money. Okay? And if you're already making some money and you're not doing what I'm going to talk about, it might help you make other money, And that is, if you're selling through something, especially like Amazon, because I can speak to that. Your books, as authors, guys, your books, look at your keywords. The other thing that, that you will get 6 keywords, I think it's 6 or 8 keywords that you can put related to your books. Now, don't be afraid to get in there and tinker with those every once in a while. So, you look up what you are already selling, because you can't chase a trend. You'll never catch a trend if you're chasing it. But if you're already in place and a trend is coming at you, you could be in a good place to shift your marketing slightly to get the algorithm to put you in there. So if I had a gamelit book, a kind of isekai through the portal kind of gamelit book, things sorted out online, and Ready Player One was coming out, you can put in there like Ready Player One as part of your description. So for Hates and Hellfire, I could put something like Supernatural or like Buffy. I could go there with it. Because you're not using them. You're going, if you like this, you might like this. So far, Amazon has had no issue with that. You hear in the independent comics all the time, this is X-Men meets X-Files, or X-Men meets Ancient Aliens. That was one that was bandied around for Lucasfilm's Hybrids. If you can find connection points like that, it might drive your sales up. If you can, so you look through your keywords, look up what keywords are trending right now. If you are making, if you're doing fast production product where, medium effort or low effort product. If there's a big surge of dragon interest for low effort products, something like, I'm selling notebooks with my art on the cover. You can do that. It's low content product. Lots of competition in that field, but not a lot of effort. So you could go, I better crank out some dragons. You look at what movies are coming out, and that's how you kind of surf the trends a little bit. Tinker with what you have. The next thing I want to talk about, and I need to tell everybody who is on Amazon to check your categories, because Amazon revamped their category system. And what I found out was a lot of my books weren't getting found because I still had them set by the old category system, which means they weren't being read by the algorithm at all or weren't being read properly. even though it was the same, sci-fi, war, whatever. You have to go through and route the logic tree. So it will say books, fiction, science fiction, dystopian. Because that is telling you the path that the algorithm goes to narrow down to your niche. So you want to do that, guys. Now, I know I've been talking for a long time. I kind of got into the monologue. What I'm going to do, I hope that answers some of your questions. That should help. I'll drop my numbers. I usually make between $25 and $100 a month through Amazon. Like I said, this is not big money by anybody's rank. And there are huge fluctuations with timing and the subject matter. As I put more material out, I get more money because more material is out there. But make sure your covers look good. Don't be afraid to recover them. Make sure your categories, make sure your keywords are intact. This is me giving you like Monday morning info dump so that maybe I can help the folks who were afraid to ask in the public questions about how to make a bit more on what they do. I hope this helps. If you disagree, I'm sure the comments are quite spicy by now. The other thing for both con stuff and your site is people need to know you're there. They need to be able to find you. You need a core place. You need a place that you can build off of as a foundation. And I happen to be involved with one. I happen to know one. I'll let our good friend Joe Bachman talk about that, and I'll get back to your comments and stuff. All right. Like I said, I know I kind of came on educational this morning, but when I get good questions like that I can give a reasonable amount of knowledge and answer to, I will tell you what I'm doing and what I'm getting at. And I did get a message during the comments. How much do I do when I do conventions? Usually, I am anywhere from $100 to $300 out of a convention. It fluctuates quite a bit. I've done better than that. I've done worse than that. A lot of times that will roughly balance out profit to cover the hotel and such, which I don't mind because I count going to conventions in part as recreation. It is a paid fun experience that if I make money at the end, that's cool. I am trying to dial up my financial successes a bit for reasons that I think are obvious. But right now, I'm in a position where I can ease into such things. The upcoming convention, Saturday, I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to do because we're covering a lot of extras, paying for both the hall and the rather expensive insurance. But given the folks who will be there and are paying, we will be at least making the hall money back. Hopefully, we could sell enough to make the insurance money back. That being said, when you are a show runner, especially in this economy, and you're just starting out, you have to expect your early shows to not necessarily perform optimally. You may take a loss on them. Depending on how bad that loss is, will depend on whether you do it again. Now, sometimes you will ramp at success, but always be prepared for it not to work and figure out why. As always, once you have a couple years under your belt and people know, hey, this is a good show. I know these vendors are going to be here. I look forward to it as part of my calendar. Then your world changes. Then you get something like Arctic Con was and Region Con is becoming. People, a big version that comes to mind is something like Gen Con, but or ALA or the Quad Cons over in Iowa. People know about this time of the year there's going to be a convention. I'm looking forward to it. I've saved some money. I've planned ahead. This is going to be great. And that's when you get into that sweet spot. So for the con related questions, I hope I'm making it. And yes, sometimes you go to a con and you get completely skunked. Don't be cranky. Don't blame the showrunners. Weather can do it. Current events can shift. This is why it's not easy. Okay. If it were easy, everybody would be doing it. So you need to have a sense of stability in, which is why I, especially if you're coming at it small, do it at a level you can handle to lose. And when you lose, when things don't work, that happens, look at why. And then analyze what you can do to change that. This is grown-up stuff. And I know I'm a goofy man in a Hawaiian shirt who likes to be as silly as humanly possible. But this is the grown-up stuff. I hope this answers the questions that people were sending to me. If you ever have a question, please feel comfortable to comment. I know there are a bunch of silly people who make inside jokes and stuff, and maybe you're shy to join a community. Just if you have a question, ask, because there are a lot of things the people in the chat are far more experienced on than the people, the guy in front of the screen. That's why I defer to them so often, because I have one of the best chats in the world. Now, I am way behind on that chat, so I need to get into it. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to give it a moment to process the many comment dumps that it's going to happen. And then, okay. This just came up. I know it's way down, but residuals are key to growing. That's why you want things that will passive income streams. That's why you print your books, you sell your books, and you leave it where you can go to Amazon and get more. Anything you can make that will come back to you will be a place to start later. So let's go. I'm gonna go all the way. Don made a really good point that happened to be at the bottom of a comment dump. So I wanted to put that up because it fit right in, and I didn't want to lose the momentum of my statement. And I know a lot of you guys expect the zanier approach, and I will, if I am on my own time, I will do the zany approach whenever possible. But sometimes you guys want, some people need some of the information, and I'm going to give them that too. First thing through the door is Alex Creation. Good morning. Getting a lot of stuff done. I've got a lot done today as I'm off school for President's Day. Excellent. Use that time to get ahead. We talked a lot, Alec, about your priorities and organizing them. As awesome as comp prep is, Don't be hesitant to realize that making sure the long-term goal of getting through high school as calm as possible so you can get in on that scholarship and get where you're supposed to be, keep your eyes on that distant prize. One of the things I find is, I don't know if you've ever been a waiter, but if you're a waiter and you're carrying something spillable, or you're going from, just your kitchen to your table with something spillable, we'll say soup. Everybody's carrying soup usually. You don't look at the soup while you're walking. Okay? Because if you're looking at the soup, you'll get unstable, you'll wobble, you'll spill it. I'm a fat guy. I've been imbalanced, clumsy at points. To move soup or anything else, you have to trust that you're stable, look at the point you're going, and just get there. When you're doing that, the soup won't spill. If you're paying attention, you don't have to stop fast. The soup won't spill. Slow, steady, focused on where you're going is going to get you what you want. And Joe's greeting Alec, and no day off for me. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. Even though I'm working from home like usual, well, that makes life better. I think my company does like state and uses this holiday later in the year to give an extra day off. I see it, but at the same time, it seems kind of cruddy, I can't remember if they use it for after Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve. It's still, morning, Joe. And I've been getting a lot done, happy with myself for that, staying motivated for the con. Excellent. Pick it up and lay it down. A lot of what I've had to do has been able to be focused on the stuff you're going to see. My booth probably won't have a lot of new stuff, at least to the people of the show, because we're focusing on running the entire convention. But that's okay, too. This came together very quickly. You just keep working, long time, long ball. Accountability. Joe almost got all the QR codes done. There will be behind the code tonight at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central, setting up at least one profile tonight. Excellent. I've sent some people your way through DMs. I'd love to know if you get some more people through, Joe, because I'm trying to send some folks your way. I know a couple singers and stuff who are looking for a place to be hosted that's a little more professional than Facebook and Instagram. And ooh, Joe, you're burning the codes? Yep. The more I do, the more I'm getting comfortable with them. Wow. I find that just staggering. Or tedious. It says they are a bit tedious, but as long as the majority of the images transfer over nice and dark, they aren't as bad. And I would think that that's the sort of thing like doing pointillism or something, that you kind of get lost in the tediousness, where your brain just sort of finds that cool, that groove. That's good, at least. I think so. And morning, all. Morning, Trey. Hope you're well. I do again apologize for my throat's being a little shady right now. Hi, Alec. Can't wait to see you guys this weekend. Hey, Trey. Good morning, Trey. Trey says the cat is all kinds of wound up this morning, LOL. He tried to carry his automatic toy over to me and behind the couch. Oh, my. And we got good morning. And here comes the dawn. Shooby dooby. Good morning, Trey, Alec, and Joe. Morning. And morning, Molly. It is tragic that we won't see you this weekend, but I hope you're doing well, Molly. I don't think you ever sent me a 30-second commercial. See if you can get one of those done so I can promote your stuff better. And morning, Dawn, just so you know, I got your email. I will reply to it here shortly. Excellent. Ted is off today, so we are about to run errands. Excellent. Maddie is off, so I will be, running through the show and then hopping off to run some errands ourselves. Totally not going to Menards to get more boxes to reorganize our stuff. No, not us. Morning, Molly. Morning, Molly. Awesome, Alec. Hi, Molly. Got greetings. And we're joined by Dan Hollifield. Old Dan himself. I had a blast on the end of Stupid O'Clock and Last Man Standing. And Dan and I was reminded why it is very, very dangerous for me to go onto one of Dan's shows. Because if I go onto one of Dan's shows, I am the last man standing usually. And then I get to stagger back to bed at 5 a.m. and get yelled at by Joe for seeding into my insomnia. Which, I realized by saying that, it sounds like Joe monitors when I go to bed. And I'll just let you guys take that as you will, because you will anyway. But yeah, I may have been scolded about my insomniac tendencies, justifiably, because good friends care. And what am I going to do? Get mad at somebody for meddling slightly? Oh, dear Lord. That would make me the king of the hypocrites. And morning, Dan. Let's see. Alex says, I'm behind in 2 classes by a few lessons, so I'm knocking those out right now. Then we'll be starting on another watercolor painting. Good. I don't want you behind. I don't want any business offer that, or opportunity that I set your way to impede with your schooling. That comes first. Then we'll worry about, making sure you have side hustles for your side hustle. And hi, Dan, says Molly, and good plan, Alec. Good morning, Molly, Dawn, and Dan. Good luck for you. And hey, Don, and waiting for the kettle to boil for my last cup of coffee for the day. Oh, wow. Such a bold statement, Nan. Trelena, accountability. Got a ton done for the con. Today and tomorrow are for new projects. Wednesday for inventory and spreadsheet. Thursday is mock-up, and Friday is rest day. Then con! Look at this plan. Like, screenshot this plan. This is beautiful. This is the optimal pre-con prep week. It is an eerily wonderful setup. Trelena has already established her base. She has enough material to sell at the con. Now she's working on new projects and process. And when she's done, she's going to inventory it. Yes, inventory your stuff. Set up a spreadsheet. Oh my gosh, Mandy started setting up Square stuff. And they have some delightful inventory tools in the way you set it up that can make things very nice. Keeping track of your sales and inventory is vital, guys. And I know this is businessy. It's not as fun as you guys want. But sometimes I got to give you guys the information. Accountability. I sent my newsletter out Thursday. Excellent. This month's second blog is now live on Patreon. Managed maybe 50 words in the work in progress last week. Well, not much, but it's something. We don't do anything, anything or nothing here. All or nothing here. We don't rock all or nothing. We rock anything or nothing, something or nothing. Every word you jot down is one more word closer to your book being complete. That's good. Acknowledging maybe you want to put more in, that's fine too. But don't ever beat yourself up for not producing enough if you were steadily producing, because that's what's going to get you across the finish line. So I'm proud of you, Molly. Keep it up. Hey, all, we got back in time. I'm glad you guys did. We made it. It's not the same without you. Oh, and I helped out a fundraiser yesterday and earned $100 towards my New York City trip in May. Well, I'm glad that you've earned some money towards your trip. I hope things get a little better for you. And maybe we can see you next year at next year's Independent Creator Convention. And morning, Donna, Carl, everybody's greeting. And yeah, my voice is a little scratchy today. I apologize for that. Sounds great, Molly, and Joe, and Trey, and Don, and Alec. Yep. He's not happy, Don, but the others are happy to be able to eat. However, they do wonder where Strips is. What's going on with Strips? I told them that he would be back around 3:30 11:30 p.m. like they understand time. They do. No. Last night, my lovely cat Dusty at 11:30 started yelling at me. He started bawling me out and trying to nudge and escort me because it was time for me to go to bed. He knows that I need to be in bed by midnight, and he's tired. I don't know if Joe has been communicating with my cat. I don't know if Trey has put some kind of, come hither on my cat. But yes, I was getting chewed out. Meow, 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 meow. What do you want? Follow the cat. He's trying to get me to go to bed. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to finish this episode, eat a little bit, because there was some chili mac involved, and frankly, it was delicious. Oh, excuse me. But they know when it's 1 o'clock because they want their tuna. And if my show isn't done by 1 o'clock, I get the looks of death. I just remind them that you are the felines. I am still the human. You don't get to do that. Sorry, that was starting to itch a bit. And Lamau. And Don says, I have to do a little at a time, so it takes a couple days to pack. That's the only way to do stuff when you have limitations. That's called adapting. That's heroic. You're on. It's snipping day for Snip, Smalley, and not a moment too soon. His sister went into heat for the first time. Ooh, boy. Oh, poor Snips. The balls are falling. Oh, Snippy boy, you'll come home neutered. Snips may be your name, but it's what brought you to the cone of shame. And we will all mourn them. Okay. And we don't even have to nag Dawn today. What will I do until behind the code? Right on DB Cooper. If you don't have something to do, you can always work on your projects. I'm merciless. Oh, I bit my cheek. I bit my cheek so hard on that, it's not even, yeah. He will come out like a champ. Yep. Morning all. Also made an appointment for Himoni. That's for Nick. I do appreciate, with my loving speech impediment, when you guys write things out phonetically, at least enough for me to break it down for next weekend to get snipped. And, I didn't realize that was Thesis. Good morning, all. Sorry, Thesis. I was clicking through. Hey, Thesis. Thesis did a great show Saturday. I hope you guys catch it if you haven't already. And that's how we discovered Rosie was a boy. Tag and Tiger were only after Gizmo. Then the hubby discovered we had a Roosevelt. Don says, you can run errands with Ted, Carl. Oh, hi, Don, Carl, and Thesis. Yep. But he won't munsey with me. That's no fun. Wait. Hey, they're the Munsies. They like to munsey around. Anyway, hey, Thesis. Hi, Thesis. Yeah, we thought Calvin was a girl. We thought Calvin was a girl until something popped out. The story of Himoni, who was firmly Hermione. Okay, I understand it. Same thing happened with Himoni. So we got him. Bestie's hubby won't abide a male cat in the house, so we traded our older female who wasn't happy being around the others. Okay, then I'll do it. But I just found out we're going for brekkie. Ooh, nothing like a nice breakfast. I had my little oatmeal. I will probably have early lunch, quasi breakfast after, which will likely involve some more of that good chili. Oh no, not chili. Very mild chili by a lot of people's standards, but it's easy on the stomach. Waffle, how are you doing? Brekkie 2 days in a row? I'm in heaven. Somewhere Nick Offerman is smiling about that. Anyway, accountability. Yes, working on a new piece of music possibly for a Foxy's ad. Ooh, but it's slow going. It's not being nice and flowing like the other two, so I have to coax it out carefully. I understand when your creative process hits that point. I have faith, though. You'll get through it. Oh, I'm sorry. See, what happened is I got sleep. I got proper sleep. I ate breakfast like I was supposed to. So now I feel tired. Explain that one to me. But speaking of, it's nearly the hour mark, and I haven't run ads, so I'm going to run an ad, and then we'll get back into the comments. No, I don't count Indie CD as an ad because he's the only paid sponsor I have. So he's part of the show. He goes every day, all the time. We were talking about conventions. I hope our convention is not nearly as exciting as this one.
Which is worse, parental interference in your job or a person with a weapon when they shouldn't have one? Working security can be boring, but some conventions are a blast. Find this and all of Donna Carlene's books at lulu.com or look for her on indiecd.org.
And yes, I thank you're welcome. The person who messaged me. That's why I answer. That's why I ask you guys to send me questions. That's what we're here for, to educate and elevate and hopefully be entertaining in the process. And I know, disaster. It happens. Let's see. And morning, Foxy. And yesterday was Excellent Cafe. Not sure where today is. Oh, my. Morning, Foxy. Hello, Foxy. Trelana's greeting Thesis and Foxy. Thesis, it's like a book, I imagine, where you get the bits and pieces and have to weave it together. Hey, Foxy. And hubby gets paid Wednesday, so we might go to Denny's after he drops the granddaughter at school. I know it doesn't get a lot of love, and it has gotten rather expensive, in my opinion, but Denny's will always have a special place in my heart. I love Denny's. It doesn't always love me, but I love it. Pretty much, Carl, I usually have moments where something comes together when I'm not at home. Yep. A lot of times you just have to go through it. And Donna says, it's time, folks. Don't forget to like and share. And Carl says, I like Nick's thumbnail today, suggesting the people by the colors and shapes. Yeah, I have two artistic brains. That's the only way I can explain it. And one of them leans towards a very painterly, fine style, and one leans towards very bold line animation style. And I'm slowly trying to get the two parts of my art brain to kind of overlap and interweave. But thank you. It means a lot when people like my thumbnails. And Pupper has her favorite toy, empty plastic bottle. Oh, God. Peace Smear, my parents' dog. You could give that dog fancy things, but that dog just wants to chew on bottles as noisily as possible. Was BKM on this morning? I didn't see him. I was looking, but how crunchy. And he was not on today, Carl. Okay. And nope, post-con coma. Yeah, it's a post-con coma is necessary. Yeah, that Sunday, do not expect anything from me. I'll be lucky if I'm awake enough to pick up a controller and play a game. My brain will be leaking out my ears. Because when I do a convention, if you think I am on now, oh, foolish mortals. If I'm in convention mode, Nick, it's a whole different process. And, ooh, I like the shirt, Nick. Thank you, Trelana. I'm sure I like yours too. And did foot traffic pick up yesterday, Dawn? And that's what I wondered / feared on. And that is a nice one, Trey. You guys are being nice to me today. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chris Walker. Hopefully it's an automatic Monday. So far, it's been a fairly chill Monday. I'm excited because my wife is off. So after I do this show, I'm going to have some lunch. And then I get to go to one of my favorite stores in the world, Menards, and get some more plastic boxes because we are changing how we package our things, because we had been packaging them in these 2 huge rolling boxes, and they turned out to be too heavy with the amount of books that I bring. So now we have a collapsible cart and smaller rolling boxes, smaller boxes that we can put in the cart. Mandy's setting up a delightfully elaborate system of, this goes in box A. This is the lid for box A. And B and C and however, so that we can actually make sure that everything goes where it's supposed to, even if we have help. Once we get things fully settled, I will be making a planogram of where materials go on the setup, because we're going to be bringing our own tables so that we have the consistency of the same table size, the same height. And once we can establish that, our setup and teardown will be streamlined considerably. And let's see. Hobo heard the NTF intro theme and finally settled down. He's been body slamming walls all morning. Oh my gosh, he reminds me of Snickerdoodle. Morning, Chris. Hey, Chris. Everybody loves Chris. Not sure, Molly. I didn't make it. Oops. And just heard Snips is out of surgery and doing well. We can pick him up at 4 today. Wonderful. Hey, Chris. Good morning, one and all. Good morning, Grant. Congratulations, Grant funded. I heard that Grant funded, and we're still going to promote his stuff. In fact, let's do that right now.
Sasquatch, the Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, the Jersey Devil, Chupacabra. For millennia, these creatures have perplexed the human race. But what if they are forces of good? What if they have been sent here by a federation of more advanced alien species to help and defend the human race? That's the premise of League of Cryptids, a new comic book by Grant Lankard, creator of the smash hits Beowulf and Memoirs of the Morbid. His new comic, League of Cryptids, is a 4-part story involving these 5 creatures banding together to defend Earth from an invading alien race, just as one of their members is losing faith in the human race and questioning their mission. The epic tale begins in League of Cryptids 1.
So Grant's doing I hear Grant Lankard has a comic. I know it's going to be good. And I know it's going to be different than the tights and capes mainstream comic crowd. And I like that. I think too much of American comics has become associated with superheroes. That might bother some people. I'm okay with that. It's not that I don't like the tights and capes crowd, but, there's a lot more to comics than that. And we've got Screes for Chris. Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you're doing great, Kelly. I'll run your stuff in a moment. I hope you're feeling better after everything you've been dealing with. Good morning, Grant. And hey, Kelly and Grant. Feel for you, Trey. Had to pick up all the food at midnight, so this morning everyone was having play fights to wake me. And give Strips, I keep saying Snips because being a Star Wars fan, give Strips lots of TLC this afternoon. Yay, Sir Strips. And the big news this weekend is League of Cryptids funded. Wonderful. That doesn't mean it's over, though. It means it's funded. So do you have stretch goals? I'd love to know how that's all working. And good morning, Kelly. And good morning, Chris, Grant, and Kelly. And wow, that was fast, Donna. Yay, Kelly. Congrats, Grant. Woohoo, Grant. Yes, Grant, now to build in a safety bumper. Hi, Kelly. Woot! Good job, Grant. Snips usually go pretty quickly. It's the gals that are a bit more involved. And Grant says, I apologize if I'm quiet. I am making bacon and eggs as I watch. Sir, as a reforming fat man and someone who appreciates breakfast foods highly, I understand that one must give bacon and eggs the time and respect that they deserve. And Trey, body slamming walls, parkour kitty. And thanks, Grant, you just made me hungry. Yep. New stretch goals. The stretch goals will be announced tonight during a new episode of Grant Draws. Speaking of cryptids and Grant Draws, I have been having a bit of fun. In another accountability, I am designing a line of images that I intend to port over to pins of some of my favorite cryptids. I realized that I had never drawn Bigfoot. So I drew a version of Bigfoot. And let's see, so far I have a lake monster, Bigfoot, Mothman, and I drew Dogman, but he came out a little more Nita and Daphne than maybe I was planning. So there was a bit of humor in there where I'm drawing the monsters, and I'll let you guys in on. I'm drawing the monsters like, yeah, that looks cute. That looks cute. I'm trying to do bold lines because they're going to be shrunk down. That looks cute. Oh man, I accidentally drew Dogman hot. I don't know why, but I was experimenting with some styles, and it came out a really neat mix of my traditional shading and some segmented hatching shading. It really came interesting. So you may see more of that style out of me if I like it. And Trelane says, he's been doing parkour, stealing pieces of my project, trying to grab my scissors. He definitely chose violence. Oh, that sounds great. I love that. Well, Cat, yep, Apex Predator. Make sure his brothers are locked up, LOL. Breakfast donut. Donuts. They were choosing violence too. Looked like a cartoon ball of rolling wrestling. There's something in the air tonight because my cats are being that way too. Haha, Trey. Things are looking up. Back to work and projects moving along nicely. That's right. And we're talking when we're talking her projects, we are talking both the Rembrandt Stratagem from the Paranormal Case Files of Bishop Kincaid, which, guys, just read that book, and Atomic Stories #1. Both of these are awesome. I'm glad to see the progress is trucking along. I was supposed to give her an ad, and I completely spaced it. Speaking of tables, how long are the tables going to be at the con? I forgot to ask Amanda. They should be 6-foot tables. I was thinking roughly 8-foot spaces, 6-foot tables. That way there's room. Those are what are provided. Now, Amanda and I plan to bring our own tables so that we can build that consistency we're talking about. I think we're bringing the benches too. I have to go over what all we're bringing because I had phased a lot of what I normally bring out because of the making sure there's space for everybody, but we had a couple people drop out. So there may be a little more wiggle room for some people who need some spread. We will see. No promises till we get there and we fully have stuff set out. But I do have my book. And in my book is the rough layout of the convention. Pardon my sketchiness. Let me see if it'll zoom in. Now I had to scratch out a couple people, but this is roughly the spread we're going to be looking at, and that's roughly at the way it's going to be laid out. I'll put the numbers in and finalize stuff as things go, because I've had to rearrange stuff. So there may be, like I said, there may be some extra room for some folks. We will see. Okay. Missed everyone. We missed you, Kelly. I'm glad you're doing better. We had that issue a couple times with Foxy's Jewelry. We set up a small town in a small town. From us, it's much more artistic than our town, but she sold more cookies than jewelry. And you're going to have that. You're going to have what sells and what doesn't. And so you make sure you bring enough of that. And a lot of times, again, with jewelry, you need to get something to raise it up, at least at an angle, so that light can catch something sparkly. We are all sparkly obsessed creatures. It comes down to being able to identify where water is. Light sparkles on water. That's part of the reason why we have such a fixation on glimmers and sparkly things. Hope you're feeling better, Kelly. Been thinking of you done. Hey, Foxy's bracelet will be upright even. How nice. Yep, I also had to take a break to rub Yoshi's belly. And hey, Kelly, hope we're feeling okay. The Woke Breaker says, it's Tockert time. Good to see you, Woke. It's been a while. Hey, chat, long time no see. Hi, Woke. Hi, Woke. Woke. Thanks, guys. I adore you. We love you too, darling. Morning, Woke. Hey, Woke. Belly rubs take priority. I assume for the cats, but still going. I'm too stubborn to quit. That's beautiful. And I respect that. Kelly, this is why we're friends. Foxy says, day 4 of lingering migraine here, but still here. I'm sorry you're going through that. Hope it's going away. And hi, all. Hi, Nick. What's this? Coming from the back? It's Jody McPhee with a folding chair.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Yep. Pardon me. What's that? Oh, big stretch. Ah! I know you guys know it's like that big stretch, just kind of grab you by the shoulders. Maybe that's just me. But hey, Joe, how are you doing, good sir? Well, Joe D, not Joe B, because I didn't mean to interrupt Joe B's work. He looked up. What? And we're greeting Jody. And we are greeting Jody. And sow the seed. Yep. Because you want to do something, and you want to be the kind of presentation that not only do the people you're presenting enjoy, but they'll talk about it to their friends. I went to the IndieCon, and man, you wouldn't believe some of the people I saw there. There was a dude in a fez, and you want to be notable. And morning, Trelena. And morning, Jody. Yes, read the room. Morning, Joe. It's the Joes. Morning, Joe. D. And chomping at the bit to add so much to Nick's merchandising suggestions. Dawn, if you ever get a day where you want to just sit and talk about that, let's sit and talk about that. I think that would be a great programming discussion show. I'm stone serious on that one. Reach out to me about when that works for you. We'll set up a panel show, because I'm all about providing education, and oh no, I might learn some new tricks. Darn. Thanks for stopping into my crazy amateur stream, Joe. And Woke does a whole bunch of great streams too. I'm going to be touring around a lot of streams this week to promote both my books, my games, Haints and Hellfire especially, just because you all seem to love it. Oh, it's under there. Okay. And we may have to talk. My method, get to know them as they get to know you. If your product attracts people, it will sell if they like you. Yeah. If you are a jerk, people won't buy your product. There have been things I thought, that's cool. I've gone places that cost more to get something because the guy selling was a jerk. And for me to pay more for anything that I technically have to, that says something. Joy says, I like to have things that I charge $1 for because a lot of people are willing to part with $1, or little kids can use their big kid money and I can slip them extra at that price. Absolutely. And see, if you get somebody as a kid and you're in this business a long time, they will come back. Let's see. Don is going to wrap us up. Is it Chris? I think I said I want to wrap this up before too late, as I'm already 16 minutes into my second hour. Yes, just go ahead, smirk at me, Joe. I saw it. It was, I saw the mischief in your eyes. I know how you are. Yeah, see, yeah. Oh, expressions to make you pucker. Anyway, oh, I'm different enough, LOL. Lamal, Dawn, and wrapping up. Okay, kids, I'm done cooking, so now I can focus on Furthermore. Always. For me, Foxy. Sorry, I'll get Xander and Nana. Nana? Come to Nana? Come to Nana. Okay, you don't know what I'm talking about, but there's a gentleman by the name of Larry Blameyer, and he is an independent movie maker, and he made one of the greatest films in history, being The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra. I mean, if you love 50s sci-fi clunkers, it is the perfect homage. There's that word again. To that. But he also did a movie that was an homage to the great Dark House movies of the 30s and 40s. And incredible movie called A Dark and Stormy Night. You need to watch it. If you are a Haints and Hellfire fan, you definitely need to watch it for reasons that you will notice if you pay attention. Yes, we just need to get into some mischief, guys. Hello for anyone who said hello to me earlier. That's fine. And let's see, what's this? The best collaboration in a show is sending business to others who, well, why did it do that? I'm sorry, give me a second, because I was reading that. And I like to read it on the big screen. Sending business to others who have what the people want. Be happy that people stop by and take interest in your work while paying it forward. Yes! This is all right here. This is great. This is the kind of thing I talk about. Hand those business cards out like it's candy on Halloween. Absolutely. If you can, add extra content. I used to have a set of business cards that had a version of the quick play rules on them just because I could do it. I don't this time because, frankly, my business card is also my creative resume right now. And speaking of business cards, are you going to need those? Are you good on those, Dawn and Nick? Or do I need to place a quick order? You know what? I'm going to run an ad, and then I'm going to go ask the CFO. So let me get an ad that I can run that will be long enough to briefly talk to the CFO. Do, do, do,
Hey there, everyone. This is Donna Carlene. Want some romance mixed in with a dead body or more? Did you enjoy my Hunter's Ridge series? Set in a small town in Alabama, it's the story of Northern Rider computer tech Carly Simone and the love of her life, Captain B.J. Martin of the Hunter's Ridge PD. But life in a small town is not all roses and beer, as Carly's expertise in true-life crime-telling makes her the Hunter's Ridge murder expert. And then there's nowhere to go dancing except the Dixie with its country music. But Rocker Carly can adjust, can't she?
Yes, Joe. I could use some. Apparently, I'm down to a half or a quarter of a box because mine tend to go out. Mandy says she has a box and a half, so she's totally golden. I truly appreciate it. You are awesome beyond measure. Now, let me get back to your comments. And what, you're doing business during a live stream again? Of course I'm doing business during a live stream. It's called transparency. You know, I want it to be that if anybody ever tried to slander me about my business practices, that anybody who's watched my show will know that that's BS. Because that, you know, you have to jerk-proof your persona as much as possible. That's another good thing. But yes, thank you so much, Joe Bachman. You're amazing. And I'm having an issue posting the link to my BK book on Bishop Kincaid. Amazon, guys, I'll get that taken care of. I didn't know there was actually anyone interested in it. Just was wrong, and now I want to cry happily. Bishop Kincaid is an amazing book. And like I said, with the right keywords, it should go. I've been talking about that for a long time. And Jody says, I prefer talking about my book, talking about how my book made someone's day, or a random free poster made someone's day, a person's day, than sales. Absolutely. I prefer that too. That is the joy. The only reason I get so heavily into, okay, I'm going to talk about this, you know, about cons and selling and setups and stuff, is because people ask me. And okay, specific to everyone, I've noticed here to shout out, hi, Donna, Dawn, Trelena, Foxy, Kelly, Molly, Dan, Grant, Thesis, Carl, Joe D, Alec, Joe Bachman, and Nick Rafe the Roof. Hey, Chris, glad to see you. We appreciate the shout outs. Don says, I have about half a box, but I've been going through them quickly for some odd reason. Yep. Dang it, Kelly, stupid river. It's a shame that it's raining. Oh, God, yeah. What? It's not. Oh, yes, it's raining. Morning, y'all. And no, it's not raining here. That's a bad quote. Well, not a bad quote. And hey, Ethan, I hope you're having a good one. Hey, hi, woke. Sorry, I must have overlooked you. Foxy says, I keep worrying that I should have set more cards. Well, you do your best. This is your first outing over here, first outing doing this sort of thing, to the best of my knowledge. You can't beat yourself up. You got to take it one step at a time, look, pay attention. And, you know, if you need to spend more next year, you spend more next year. We just hope it gets you some business. I also really need to draw Foxy's icon how I saw it for a long time instead of how it actually looks, because I visually misread it, and since that it kind of it does that is it a young woman or an old woman illusion. And hello, woke Jody. Sorry, Nick has now made me work on some displays. Jeez, more work. Hey, I don't make people do anything. I am all about consent. I mean, at least until the contract has been signed, and then I get to hold people to the terms of the contract. And if the contract implies, contains implicit consent, well, read your contracts. Nick, your horns are showing again. Yes, I know. Hey, Ethan. Morning, Ethan. Hi, Ethan. Lots of Ethans. And yes, cards. They may be old school, but it's tangible. Yes. And they travel. And that's why I'm out of them and Mandy's not. Because I have the habit of shoving them in my pocket and handing them out and going, shoot, I wish I had my card every time I don't. Those things usually go with me everywhere. I love the business cards. Plus, it helps when people are like, you don't really do that. Funny, my card says I do. They're almost as powerful as a clipboard. Of course, and if you want the ultimate power, all you need is high-vis clothing, a clipboard, and a look of annoyance. And you'd be amazed what one can accomplish. But that's neither here nor there. I do not use my knowledge and abilities for evil, but boy, I sure wouldn't mind finding a stash of, gently used retired signs that I could turn into things. I've been tempted at points to walk into places. Ask me how I got my blue barrel plastic for armor sometime. Morning, Chris. And we got more greetings. We got greetings back, and we're joined by the Ice Queen, our sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. Hi, Ice Queen. Love the new logo. And people can write notes on them, specific book titles, maybe the date of your next con. Business cards are still very important in the digital age. Yes, I'm actually looking for a nice business card wallet or redoing my wallet so it better holds business cards. Let's see. Also, embrace nicknames that others give you. I have been the guy with the giant female cop comic or the guy with the wrestling book. It's how they remember you. Yes, I've had more nicknames, aliases, and considered alt IDs kind of foisted upon me over the years than anyone, probably including myself, could tally. Roll with what works. And hey, Ethan, and Ice, baby. Sorry. Hey, Ice. And that's why I left mine relatively plain. Notes. No, that's why you can note on the backside. I have my whole resume. Because it's funny. It's small print, which I don't normally condone, but it's so weird that people have to stop and look at it. And, they look and they go, what is on there? Oh, you should read it. There's all sorts of stuff on there. You do all this and more. It's bizarre, but I am the bastion of the bizarre. Morning, Ice. And we've got counter greetings to everybody. And figured I'd stop by and see what's up with y'all today. I'm on shift for EMS, LOL. Sitting in my station right now. Glad to hear it. Glad you're there to help people who need it. Cattle. See, cattle is how I read that. Oh, Carl. Cattle, chattel, whatever. And I like to tuck cards into bags of purchases too. A nice reminder where they got their product from. If you're selling books, business card goes in the book. Got it? Preload them all. Well, that means somebody's going to get 12 business cards. Yes. And do you know what they're going to do with those 12 business cards? They're either going to pitch them, which happens with a lot of business cards, or they're going to use them as the bookmarks for each individual book. Or that when somebody goes, where did you get that book? They'll go, wait, here, this guy. And if you get somebody who does that, some of the best publicity you can get. And Ethan, hi, Ice Queen. And Ethan is booping Alex's nose. And sometimes I will even write such a note for them on the back of my card. Oh, yes. I love doing that because if people will have questions, I'll go here. You need more information? Or you're interested. Sometimes I'll put other people's links. Like, I'm not saying that the words indcd.org has appeared on the back of a few of my business cards when people ask me questions. No, I would never do something like that. I would never say, hey, I'm promoting indcd.org. Right? You know, the old straight indcd.org on the thing on the back of one of my business cards and hand it to them so that they go, thanks, what's this? Oh, that's my business card. Hey, Trelena. Hey, Chris. Wow. Okay, they're bonking. Anyway, the guy with the spy novel or such. I have had people, without coaxing, ask me, well, what about that guy you do stuff with? Okay, which guy? The old author guy. I need a little bit more to go on than the old author guy. Dude looks like Rasputin from Hellboy. Okay, you're talking about Carl. And it has happened before. It will happen again. And Chris Walker says, Nick is giving out great information and advice. Listen to what he's saying. If you missed anything, go back and rewatch. He's awesome in so many. Thank you, Chris. Now, I am planning, which will seem repetitive to people who do the live stream, to do a video, like a recorded one. I'm sorry, but sometimes I have to go through. That will be me rehashing a whole lot of this. I may even shoot one while my booth is set up so I can say, all right, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I do. Let's see if it can help you. Okay? If you guys are interested in a video like that, if you think it would be educational, it's just like how I handle things for the Historical Fencing Guild. If you want to see how I make something go, just let me know, and I will gladly do it because I'm here to help folks. And see, Foxy, we aren't the only ones who boop. Well, what isn't that what snoots are for? I woke up yesterday with this music in my head. Joe's ad music. Oh my gosh, it is a banger, and it doesn't feel like a good day for me if I don't. And nope. Indeed, this is ooh. Of course, Nick was talking about, booth setup. I am buying a weird cube storage thing. That is what I'm going to be working with for my setup, along with a few other things. A wired cube. Are you talking about the wired cube with the circles that hold it together like we've been using? Delightful! Yes, Trelena, my goddess. Dressing similar at each event helps. People will unconsciously look for your style. It's almost like you pick something that becomes brand associated. It was shocking. I showed up on Stupid O'Clock and I wasn't wearing a Hawaiian shirt. It was noticed, which I do every once in a while as a litmus test to see if people are noticing the branding. Plus, if I wear Hawaiian shirts, it's easier for my wife to find me in the crowd. And when I go to cons, I do like to wear the brightest Hawaiian shirt. And that's not counting my hat of selling. Bum, bum, bum! And then I just watched a video on YouTube called Things That Make Your Comic Book Look Amateur, and it was really informative. Grant, please send me the link to that. I'm serious. please DM me the link to that video because that sounds like something I would love to read. And speaking of Boops the Foxy, y'all are being cute over here. I doubt YouTube will let me post the link, but you can search for it. It should let you post the link. It should be, if you go to share on there, it should give you an option, copy link, and you should be able to post it just fine in here. Oh, wait, you're through YouTube, not Facebook. Never mind. YouTube can get shady about that. Feel free to give it a try, though. Wrinkles Nose. Trey BChem is known as the Fez guy. I was talking to other vendors at QuadCon, and they all knew who he was. Exactly. And Don says, I need a book. LOL. What kind of book, dear? What can I do for you? If it hasn't been written, speak, and I will make it so. Do you want custom art on a notebook? Let me know. I will do some low content formatting if people request it. Same, Alec. I'm going to put some of my bigger items at eye level instead of where people have to look down. Yes! Guys, I love Goodwill. Okay. I'm hoping if I'm really good at Menards, we might get to go to Goodwill afterwards. We found, friends, a spinner rack for spices. Okay? It's delightful. But do you know what we can do with that spinner rack for spices? Mandy, my beautiful wife, took binder clips, the little ones, and hung the dice sets that we sell, because they come prepackaged in little baggies, from that all the way around. So we'll have verticality. If you turn it a little bit every once in a while, there's movement. Think about what gets people's attention. Color/difference. Verticality where it's up, where we see it. Movement and light. What makes the Vegas Strip the Vegas Strip? Neon, baby. And if you do it right, it looks attractive. It looks welcoming. It looks intriguing. Maybe a little odd. And you're like, well, Nick, what happens if everything looks odd? Well, it either looks like, a Japanese arcade town. I can't pronounce the name of it. I remember it, but I often missay it. So I'm just going to skip it. It starts with Aki. You know what I'm talking about. It's got all the great big intersections with the crossways and stuff. And there, boops. Okay, someone else got booped. Oh, I need a boop. Aww. And one more thing I'll say. Graphic design matters more than people think. Yes. I have certain weaknesses. I want to elevate my graphic design skills. I want to elevate my formatting skills. And that's really what's held me back aesthetically in a lot of things. And just like I tell you what works, I will tell you what I'm not good at, what I'm trying to make better. And I don't mind running late when it's educational. LOL, word gets around. Absolutely. Yes, when I first met BKM, I knew he was the Fez guy. Absolutely. Ducking autocorrect, but it wasn't wrong. Coffee with cat hair. Tasty. Yep. Lamau Don, you have a book. You just need to make it. Ooh, yes, Grant. Fuzzy. Watching this while the plumber is here. Okay. Joe B, traffic flow over the weekend on Joe B, traffic flow over the weekend on Indie CD, up or down? I'm not sure what she means by that comment. Do you mean internal traffic flow? Because I'm trying to route it where my booth and stuff will be there as part on the right side for greeting people, because people usually come and veer right using shopping store theory. You'll be on the left because you'll be right in the entryway, and then hopefully they'll go around the circle. We've had some things go bink, but it's a thing. And just for info on our amazing group, I'll look up really quick. And cool, this is where I can go on a soapbox on. Never be afraid to take a loss at a show. Making table or booth cost isn't always the primary goal. Absolutely. It's about sowing the seed, getting your name out there. The same idea for being a showrunner. I've done several shows and conventions. I've done SCA events. Usually I have to be a little more active in acquisition. My beloved wife and CFO has just made so much. I cannot speak enough of the glory of my wife's skills in this stuff. She is making a lot of what I do look much, much easier. And, okay, I see what you mean. Traffic flow, internet traffic flow. I went derpy. Because I've got 3 sets of traffic flow in my mind. Internet traffic flow, the actual traffic flow around IndieCD.com, and then the traffic flow of how people are going to be in the room. And 17 visitors over the weekend, 65 page views. That's not bad. For getting things going, that is not bad. I know for a fact the reason people weren't out when Foxy and I set up was because it was 100 plus outside and there was a bigger market in our town that more people go to. Yeah, you got to know what you're competing against event-wise. You got to know if the weather's going to be against you or not. Oof. If it wasn't so expensive, we would set up at the Ren Fair. That is a common theme. If it wasn't so expensive, I'd set up at the Earl Park Festival. But good Lord. Yeah. Word of mouth and repeat customers are keys to growth too. Absolutely. Slow and steady. Wait until he sees the rest of my comments today. Oh my. Too pricey for us just yet, but now enough supply for it. Got you. Not enough supply, I imagine. Y'all seeing the business side of Dawn. She does exist. Oh, I know. I love that. I love capable, reasonable people. And Sarah says, popping in to say hi and give a like. You are a goddess. Welcome aboard, Sarah. I'm glad you're here, Sarah. And Nick, hey! Indie Comics Network, how are you doing? That's Nita. Hello, my love. I'm running late, but we've been talking good stuff. Tackles. Oh. All the hugs. I'm excited. I'm getting affection. Tackle hugs back for you guys. Aw. Girls hugging makes me happy. Good morning, Nita. Morning, Sarah, Nita. And guys, I know I've kind of gone over today. I don't normally, but please go to the Indie Comics Network and subscribe. I will be, you know what? I have to mea culpa for running late, so I will run her bump right now for running late, and there's a new bump coming. Maybe. The Independent Comics Network has some great shows, great opportunities to learn. I've been catching Art Kamikaze with C. Michael and Jaden. Great program. A lot of fun folks. Let me get back here. And greetings for Nita. Everybody loves Nita. Does double tackle hugs turn into wrestling? Not the green room. Sarah. Hi, Nita. Grabs popcorn. Morning. Donna. Hi, Molly. Hey, Nita and Sarah. And we got lots of greetings. Everybody's happy to see us. And let's see. I'm sorry about that, Nick. Don't let me keep you up late again, please. No, Dan, I am careful with it. I know what I'm going into when I go, and I was compelled to be there. Please don't feel bad about that, because it is one of our conversations are genuinely one of my great joys in life. You are always intelligent, insightful, experienced, and I learn so much whenever we talk. So never feel bad about it. I'm a grown man. I am fully capable of saying, I know this is going to cost me some sleep, but it is worth it. I just have to balance it out with the convention coming. So I have to be good this week because I have to be on Saturday. And yes, with the way my conditions work, I have to be good all week to be sure I have a shot at being good Saturday, health-wise good Saturday. We got high. And we still more waves. And I just enjoy being on Last Man Standing. I may not contribute much, imposter syndrome, but it's a good time. You contribute a lot. You always have stuff to say. You've got a great presence, and you just have to become more confident. You have to let yourself out of your shell a little bit. But you're getting there. And Sarah, Wednesday, you know what I mean. Molly Daniel says, confession time. I have no idea how to do a commercial. Well, your commercials will always be better than my early ones. In fact, here, I will shame myself right now. If you feel bad about a commercial, remember that this was my original BSR ad before I published on Amazon. It's a little embarrassing.
The BSR Core Rulebook by Nicholas Tockert.
Why are my ads not running?
The BSR Core Rulebook contains the information for numerous factions, wonderfully detailed art, and the complete rules to play Big Stompy Robots, including 9 custom units, special terrain rules, and multiple scenarios. Published in 2017, the Big Stompy Robots Core Rulebook is your ultimate guide to get started in the wonderful world of Praxis 5.
And since we have a bit of dead air, I'll hop in here real quick. Let me scroll back up. Because unlike Nick, I just let the comments keep flowing, so this is going to take a second. Actually, you know what? Let's do one more ad here. That'll give Nick time to get back and me time to find the current spot in the chat. So we'll be back in just about a minute.
Thanks for the big save for Joe. I'm not even gonna hide it. I needed to make a run around the corner for a second, and if my ad had run properly, I would have had time. But for some reason, my ads are being a little weird today. Probably means that I filled up my space again. It gets a little glitchy when the autosave space is starting to fill up. But let's get back to the comments and try to fit where we were. And let's see. So, oh yeah, confession time. I have no idea about how to do a commercial. All you have to do is record maybe a picture of your book, talk about your book, and for about 30 seconds. That's it. It's not terribly complicated. I would reach out to Carl Witzman. He's the master of some of the best short videos I've seen in the business, and I really think that people need to be in a position to pay him because he does incredible work. Joe Bachman does incredible work with such things. I do tolerable work. Not really. I need to upgrade all my stuff, but I keep putting other people's stuff first. I don't know why. But don't feel bad about it. No one has all the strengths. That's why we have groups like the Independent Creator Directory, where you can find people who can help you do these sorts of things. Hey, Sarah. Alex, reach out to Carl, Joe Molly. They seem really good at doing their commercials. I had that problem too. I just did a quick voiceover telling people about my stuff, and that works. And Carl says, if you can record what you want to say and send photos of the book, I would help because you were an angel. And, Chris is greeting Sarah S. And Molly Daniels, if you're using a Windows machine, the software Audacity and Microsoft Clipchamp would work perfectly for playing around with creating an ad. I need to learn Audacity. That's actually on my to-do list. I have dabbled in Microsoft Clipchamp for my short I did for Krampusnacht. But we'll have to figure that out. And I do have a nice promo picture one of my publishers did. That works. Exactly, Joe. And something is better than nothing. That's what guys, that is the escape from imposter syndrome. The word something is better than nothing will free you to do what we do. It is transformative. I'm serious. I mean it. XOXO lovelies. Hugs and kisses to you, my dear. And, my personal accountability. I thought about organizing my files and drive to make social media easier. Then I was like, nah, I like it rough. God darn. Nita, you are just every kind of the right kind of woman. You know that? I'm not even, you're a glory. God, I love that woman. Amazing. Yes, all or something. We know how you do, Nita. That's like, for those of you who are expecting me to green room Nita, are you nuts? That's Nita freaking Lanning. If she wants to say what she's going to say, there's not much in this world that can impede her. So does Foxy sometimes. Oh my. Now I am going to have to start green rooming you. No. Hey, Joe, as soon as I get caught up, I will get back to you about that website info you requested and we can chat. Thanks for your patience. And Thesis, you hush. Molly, 30 seconds isn't too long to use a single image with a voiceover. Of course, several images in a slideshow works as well. Yes. No problem, Kelly. Cats do know bedtime, lunchtime, etc. But the concept of 3 p.m. was foreign, Lamau. I get that. Chris Walker says he likes it tough. The man who, LOL, the man who plows the whole town. I don't know when Joe said he liked it tough, but it's not wrong. I still need to finish organizing all my designs for wood burning. We all do. I think I need to downsize a bit. Some organization happens, and I'm off before the lady has to hunt me down. Some days it sucks to be on. Love you, Nick. Love you too, Daff. Daff is so lucky to have you, Nita. It's like, you're just, Nita Lanning is pure awesome. Otherwise, I'm never going to get my website back up. Definitely next year, count on it. Things that suck, that feeling just crappy enough to need to blow your nose regularly, but not sick enough to actually get out of work. Such is life. Observation. It appears the best way to get an unsolved mystery solved is for Uncle Carl to write a book about it. Yeah. Even in EMS, we still work through things a lot. It's tragic, but it does happen. Funny story. I usually get home from the evening job at 9:30, and doggies know it's time to go outside. But when I'm off 9:30, they start making a lot of noise, a la, "It's time, Mom." And Dawn just made it to breaky. And that's our pupper too. She wakes me up around 7:30 every morning. Good luck, Nita. When I'm done with this, I'll have to get on her show. Or I'll catch it in the rerun. That's what happens when rerun and rewind bump into each other. I get rewind. Well, Mao Dawn. Thanks, Dan. I should have been either a detective or a criminal mastermind, or both. Ooh! Don't say that, Thesis. Don't give me that Sherlock and Moriarty are the same person. Don't do that. Don't get me to float the idea of a Jekyll and Hyde style book where Sherlock and Moriarty are the same person, but they don't know it. No. Don't make me think that. Been productive already. Woo! I can't believe all the stuff I've accumulated from living in the same place for 8 years. A lot going to friends, Goodwill, then trash. Prepping for getting out. Yes! Congratulations. Donna, no murder. Sarah, no murder. That's good, Sarah. Yeah, no murder, Sarah. You only saw one crow? That's sad. And no arson either. Jeez. Thanks, Alec. Taking the fun out of everything. Come on, Ethan. But arson, just kidding. I understand. Oh, Ethan Hughes, if Donna writes a book, there will either be a shootout, explosion, or scene. Maybe all of them. She knows what sells. Is Donna the Michael Bay of books? The only way to find out is to read her wonderful creations. Carl, all of them at the same time, a shootout with explosions in the background while there was a animated video on the internet. Yes. I'll bring the marshmallows. Okay, y'all are bringing marshmallows to roast somebody. And there's fire and marshmallows. I'm going to skip through this because I need to get. I'm not sure what you are doing. I mean, after the explosion, the marshmallows come out. Depends what you're exploding. Be careful what fire you stick your marshmallows in. I mean, fire's there. Yes, but not all fire is equal. She hasn't written that, Ethan, but now that you gave her an idea, oh no. How Desperado should have ended? Anyway. I'm staying an extra day at the B&B to give myself a little extra recovery. Well, you will find it very restful because there's not a lot to do in that particular town in which you are staying. However, let me know. Maybe we can set something up, just to comfortably socialize. I mean, it would certainly be interesting, Carl. He said package. Durable package. Explosion of marshmallows. Marshmallow Ghostbusters? LOL, Dawn. Let me see. Just watch Ghostbusters The Afterlife with all the baby marshmallow men. Oh, don't give me that. Oh, we lost Joe. Joe is gone, so if things go wrong, it's on me. Speaking of packages, got a FedEx delivery at my station. New equipment and supplies. Yippee! and Sugar Highs with Fire. No complaining. Wow, I don't know if I'm ever getting out of here. Hold on. Comic dope. Will do. Wow. We will. Let me get back to where we were. And let's see. Ooh, okay. Where are we? Okay, I'm going to have to go through a lot of stuff because I got to wind down because I got to get some food in me and I got to get on the road. So, wow. Wow. Okay. Did I miss a huge chunk? Am I an hour behind? Okay, yeah, I'm an hour behind. Holy smokes. Okay, we're gonna have to bang through a lot of this because I may have to actually end the show without getting through all the comments, which I am sorry if it is. Grant, you're an inspiration. Well, Nick Strips did get snips. Yes, I know nothing, and for some reason, it's not bringing the comments up either. I know nothing Star Wars nor the like. So not a sci-fi fan, but the world would be boring if everyone liked the same things. That's okay. But you did draw Bigfoot. Me, Ella, you are not Bigfoot. I love Mothman. Dawn, are you high? Hush. Aga. Okay, something is going on in the chat. Thought you were just trying to say Dawn was high. Too hard to type and eat. And epic minds think alike. Okay. Well, never mind. I'm needing to eat. Thanks for reminding me, Dawn. I have no idea what the convo actually is, Dawn. Just rolling with what I read in the comments. I feel lost. So food is good. I got an invitation to my cousin's wedding in April. Do I go out and wear my white suit or just a button up and some nice jeans? I would not wear white to anyone else's wedding, as a rule. And Sarah had jelly donut with chocolate on top. And Dawn says, tails. Baby blue with ruffles. Okay, let's see what this comment says, because for some reason my comments aren't coming up either, so we're having a bit of system issues here. That building, Nick, where the con is where I got my first COVID shots. The health department was doing them when COVID was higher and the shots were available. I remember. Ooh, shiny. Chick-fil-A, a brekkie, done. Ooh, Sarah, good stuff. Sarah, okay, this is not even letting me hide comments, so I'm going to have to go through these best I can. Because it's just, for some reason, StreamYard's being weird. Yep. Okay, now... Okay. Sorry, guys. Comment dumps have comment dumps. Sarah can't stand going to weddings. Bores me. All that money spent on the honeymoon that could be instead of short time of the wedding. Or you save as much for both and actually, put that money towards, living a better life. I'm sorry, when a wedding costs more than some houses used to, it's getting farcical. And why have a big wedding and honeymoon when you could just have a nice staycation at home? Well, yeah, exactly. True. Oh, wow. I remember FezCon like it was yesterday. It was a great one. Alec, I'm not bringing the comments up because it's glitching. bouncing off the walls, fun. Like, why spend 1,000 when you stay home and snuggle? Yep. Nick said, I saw a man in a fez. I just laughed, choking on coffee, gagging. Not the green room. Grant says, Sarah, I saw your comment earlier about me being an inspiration. Thank you. That's sweet of you to say. You are an inspiration. You are in a position that thousands and thousands of people have worked very hard and probably will never get to. Your comic is in stores. Just remember, Sarah, I'm just a regular guy. You could do anything I do. And Molly says, when hubby and I went to Vegas in 2020, we didn't get the idea we were supposed to, the idea to say we were finally taking our honeymoon until we were on our way home. We could have gotten so many perks. Oh. And Grant, you're so welcome. It's true. Exactly. Ethan, snuggles are good, much better than wedding. Yeah. And I went to the house that Superman was created in Cleveland, and it's so inspiring because you realize it's just a regular house. And Molly says, Applebee's in Albuquerque gave us free dessert. That's great. Hi, y'all. Hey, Grey Wolf. As I get into the start of my third hour. Hey, Grey Wolf, better than dealing with people, Alec. People you. Yes, people you. Donna wants me to write a sequel to a book I recently read of hers. How do I know that was going to be given to me when I asked her for it? We have faith in you, Sarah. Has to be the right people to make it epic. That's true, too. I used to want a big wedding because I was a middle child, so I often felt overlooked. I wanted one day where I could feel important. Now I couldn't care less. Well, yeah, because you have people who make you feel special and important every day. To Alec with my last comment. Agreed, Sarah. The right people make the big difference. Got you, Alec. Yep, there's the difference between cardboard people and people. Now, super listening mode engaged. At Kohl's now. Well, I'm glad, you guys are taking me shopping. It's nice. Absolutely. Playing around with the new online drum kit. I think I accidentally made sci-fi villain music. Excellent. Cue Imperial March. Good Lord. I'm about to go walking around the town in the cold because I can. Alex says, wear your gloves, idiot. Okay, I'm going to skip the direct conversations right now. Let's see. Pretty much in my head, it sounds like the music that plays as a villain approaches the heroes. Save it. That's wonderful. And Alec and Ethan are flirting, and I'm going to have to skip the flirty fun stuff so that I can get through the commentary. Dawn, I was supposed to be just listening. Dang it. And I have business cards in my wallet and my bag, a few of Nick's that I also hand out. Thank you, Alec. Let's see if that can come up. Nope. Molly says, my funds are flowing in the wrong direction. My Avery business cards will have to do until I can afford nicer ones from VP. Lord knows I've been there too. And Foxy said, I get that, Molly. We printed our own due to the cost, at least for the first time. And yeah, Nick the Cryptid, or just the Cryptid is one of your known names. I don't know what you're talking about. I am a perfectly normal human being, Alec. I don't know where you get that. Sent you the Lincoln business card wallet I bought. Thank you. Have first 2 signings next month, and all my funds are geared towards my NYC trip. Hopefully, June 1st, I can breathe again. I understand that. Drop it in here. Yeah, others might like it. Clarifying, breathe instead of hyperventilating. I understand. One of the things that we didn't do early was put other books by Nana Carlene in the back of her books. It's an impressive list now. I need to start doing that as well. It's I need to start doing that. Foxy, don't worry so much. Nearly everyone starts out small. If it's a good quality, as I suspect it is, it will be a very good building block. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it grew into an empire. Yeah. And worrying is kind of what I do, thanks anxiety, but I try to ignore it as much as I can. Wow, my camera flickered now. Great. Old author guy. Haha, gotta be more specific. Yeah. And there's the link for the wallet. And it's in the chat. And so people out there, I bet Dawn, listening mode, a lot to go through and get rid of. Yeah, I got cool things down, so I need you guys to cut out on the comments, or else I just can get cut off. And Alex says, I wear the same outfit most events. I do similar pants, same old man shirt I like. I understand. Your glasses are also noticed. You did well today. Thank you. I noticed the black shirt, Nick. LOL. It's a good look. Thank you. I know which Goodwill you're probably talking about, Nick, and they've been having lots of good stuff lately. In the last month or two. Yeah. We don't have a Menards here in Tennessee. Oh, you get my condolences. You know, Christmas is over with and people want to get rid of their stuff. That makes sense. Epiphany moment. Should I write book 1 at the top rack instead of book 4? Should I put book 1 instead of book 4 at the top rack? It depends. I'd almost say if you're doing a rack of books, having your most recent on top and then the first one in the series. That way, when people need the latest, if you want to know where to start, it's right there. I think that's how I do it. Menards is interesting to say the least, and it is the smell's not forgettable. Save big money at Menards. I'm not sponsored by them, but I wish I were. Very true. That it had that smell. Yes. Hey! Now I work at Lowe's, and I worked at Home Depot. I can't afford to shop at Home Depot though. And there's nothing wrong with Lowe's. Except people always try to run me over in those carts because they don't have the proper safety protocols. Yeah, I said it. Haven't been one in 30 years, but I remember that smell. Lunchtime, kitty lunchtime, see everyone later. Oh, that was a long time ago. Yeah, the smell. Oh my gosh, the only reason I go to Menards is my mom. And I heard, then I buy the huge bags of gummy bears they have. I love Menards. The smell never bothered me. All I smell is wood. And later, and let's see. Oh, God. So many comic books. Oh, okay. So many comments. I don't know if I'm good. Oh, guys, I knew today would be a long one because of things, but I've got to get out of here soon, guys. Okay, I went too far. I got to find where I was. There we are. Most valuable purchase. Dang it, Alec. Now I want some gummy bears. And a chocolate orange. 50% off. Nope. Valentine's Candy Day. Okay, that's my crew. Everyone have a good day. Bye, Carl. I pass out Hershey's Kisses to kids and grumpy coworkers. Yes, candy is always a good thing. Our town charges...
Kids for grumpy coworkers?
Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, you can't have any because it has milk. But it's a good way for Molly to make friends. And he's allowed to talk and interrupt a bit. People like it. Yep. And I'm going to go get actual food. Yep. Food. I need food too, guys. Oh, hi, Doc Crow. I hope you guys are being still entertained. Target is busy. There is only one real reason one thing I need from Target, and that is something I don't need. There's a specific Nerf style blaster at Target that is exclusive, and I doubt it's going to make its way to Goodwill anytime soon. Morning, Crow, and good morning to anyone else for that matter, been in lurk mode. Well, I'm glad to see you, Miss Saren. Miss Saren is the amazing voice actress who is doing the audiobook for Haints and Hellfire. She is incredible. You're going to be peopled out, Dawn. I'm peopled out just listening to her travels. I understand that. And I got Nita and Joe's indie pages flopped around. It happens. Foxy's ad, work in progress, is pictures of her jewelry with my music in the background. I'm trying to convince her to do a little voiceover. Please. Because a lot of people use my show like a radio show. Excellent idea, Thesis. I can do a little voiceover when I figure out what to say. Hi, my name is Foxy. I make handmade jewelry. This piece is blah, blah, blah. This was blah, blah, blah. These are my prices. I hope you enjoy it. Have a nice day. Believe it or not, the perfect introduction is found on Princess Bride. Hello, you've done a greeting. My name is Inigo Montoya. You've identified yourself. You killed my father. You've explained your reason for engaging with them. Prepare to die. You've made a closing statement. And indeed, that is a great idea. Now, someone with actual talent needs to write it, not me. I just gave you, use that like a Mad Libs. I have to go. Shoot me a message later confirming yes. See you all later. Wow, we have another comment dump. I'm going to skip ahead to say, everybody is saying hi, Xander. Yeah, you can say hi. He says hi. And let's see. All right. See you next fall. And Carl, I missed your comment about where I reside. So very near the infamous Mad Gasser. Got to run. Need to go to the store for dog treats. Yep. Bye, Dad. Hope you've had fun. I do pretty much everything here, though. Okay. You are indeed an hour behind. Q's Nick auctioneer voice. So I got ramen and egg. Out here. Blah. Pop. Cute. Okay. Out there meeting local cops. Nice, says Alec. If you don't catch up with us, don't worry, Nick. We'll forgive you. Have a great Monday, everyone. Thank you. I'm going to try. You too, Chris. Big weddings are just exhausting, even as a guest. Yes, they are. I can't even get the things to click fast enough. Foxy, I'm glad to have time to save up introvert points enough to be semi-social at the event. Sounds like something a Krypton would say. Wait, no. Doesn't it? My mom heard the response to my cryptid comment and said, yeah, sure he is, to perfectly normal human being. Really? Is funny. Wow. I got busted out by Alec's mom. Nick, can you define flirting? No. Not here. That is a whole show. I will talk about flirting on a show, maybe Wednesday. I'm not even kidding. Home, go do your stuff. Well, I'm trying to. You don't have to catch up with us. As we said earlier in the comments, we understand. I had to catch up to that. And a whole bunch of people said hi to Xander. And Xander said hi back. I got back in time to hear Nick say, call me an angel. Say what? You are amazing, Carl. Accept it. I have no time for people's imposter syndrome and false humility. Everybody in my chat freaking rocks. Now, I'm not taking any more comments. You guys are probably going to say bye to each other. That's fine. And Sarah says Xander rules. But everybody loves Xander. Now, I will be back Wednesday, and who knows, maybe I will talk about defining flirting for the young master Ethan. But remember, the big thing to take away from this today, and I'm going to be promoting this on my show heavy this week, is that the Independent Creator Convention is happening this coming Saturday in beautiful Fowler, Indiana, at 410 South Aidway, Fowler, Indiana, 47944. It's real easy. There's a big intersection on 5th Street. On one side is a British Petroleum. That would be the east side. On the west side is a road. Take that road, follow it around. You will see a little isolated building that is the annex. Be there or be square. Bring your money. Have a great time. With that all said, if this thing will go away, thank you. And all my comments are mostly contained. Everybody have a nice day. And apparently there's something in the calendar that I have to do for Sarah, for Miss Saren. I will check that. If I'm missing something, she can message me. With that, guys, I need you to have a great day because I need to go get something to eat. So keep creating, keep drawing, keep making the art and things you love because you can edit it, you can improve it, but you cannot edit a blank page. I will see you Wednesday for another episode of Nevermind the Furthermore, and I will see you Saturday at the Independent Creator Con. Let's get it. If the stream ever ends.